Stephen, you guys have gone 14-5 against the AL Central this season. Can having that information going into another divisional series potentially help this team mentally in terms of their approach?
Yeah, I don't necessarily think it with our record per se, but we always love to play our divisional opponents. It's going to be good baseball. We know every team is pretty evenly matched, so it's always fun to play division games for sure.
Slade got his second start with the Guardians, first win against the Tigers earlier this season. How much have you seen him grow since then, and what are some of the things you've learned about him in that time?
Yeah, I think we've seen a lot of growth from Slade. Not knowing a whole lot about him when we acquired him, to then not really getting much of a spring training. So we really still are getting to know Slade every time out. But what we've learned is he can pitch. Whether he has his best stuff, not so good, he finds a way to get outs, and he's a tireless worker, great routines. So we feel really good about it every time Slade's going out there.
Hey, Stephen, I was not in Chicago. So this question is not Luis Ortiz central. My question for you is, what do you think it does for baseball when you can make a prop bet on any pitch? Do you think that that's bad for the game, that it could throw any player under suspicion, even if it's, he'll make an error on this play, he'll swing and miss on this pitch? Or
I have no comment on gambling with baseball. We're not allowed to have any part of it.
What are your impressions of Hinch as a manager and just competing against him? And he's obviously been around for a while, just watching him from afar and up close.
I mean, obviously, AJ's had a ton of success in this game. He's always been great to me personally. Competed against him as a player, and now, obviously, we're both managing our teams. And, the playoff series was fun. So AJ's always been good to me.
Catchers make better managers? Is that a thing?
I mean, I played for some really good managers that weren't catchers, but I think being a catcher helps you just think the game differently. Everybody has their own style. Catchers are involved in every play when you're playing, so I think it does help with just being able to pay attention, handle everything, and relationships with pitchers, position players, both. So I do think there are some perks to being a catcher, but I don't think it's catchers make the best managers by any means. There's a lot of catchers that are, but everyone could be a great manager.
All-Star reserves are going to be announced on Sunday. How would you quantify what Stephen Kwan means to this team and how deserving he would be of that nod?
Yeah, I don't think you can quantify what he means to us. Just the consistent defense, the consistent at-bats, who he is in the clubhouse, just the consistency at which he works and takes the field every day, and the spark that he gives our lineup, our team, every time he comes to the plate. Stephen Kwan 100% should be an all-star, and I think he will be.
When you look at the way the Tigers are playing this year, the aggressive mindset, I think they've had the fourth most guys thrown out at home plate, but AJ says, you can't play the game careful. You got to push it. I think they're taking the extra base a high percentage of the time. Are they a more aggressive team this year from what you've seen, what the data is telling you compared to a year ago?
Yeah, I think they run the bases well. They push the envelope. They make you make plays. That's what good teams do. You always want to be trying to look to get the extra 90 feet, test the arms. It's really hard to make an accurate throw from the outfield to a base. It just really is. There's not much room for error. They don't steal, they don't steal bases very often, but they do take the extra base a lot. So we have to take care of the baseball.
Knowing how pro sports works, is it coincidence that you guys had the success you did a year ago playing that style of baseball, and now same team in your division is kind of emulating that? Or is it, I know you have to have the horses to be able to do it, but.
Yeah, I think you have to know who your people are, and you have to go out and do it. And I think what the Tigers have done really well is they've identified what their style is, and they have good team speed. Maybe not base stealing speed, but they have speed to run the bases. They get good reads. They take good secondaries. They play really, really good fundamental baseball, and they have really good players. And they added a bunch of outside talent this last winter to really boost that.
Where does Austin Jackson's 2017 catch at Fenway Park rank in your outfield catches of all time?
Yeah, right up there. That's for sure. No, that was awesome.
I got no more.
Yeah.
What's the most hot dogs you've ever eaten in a 10-minute span?
Not 60 something or 70, whatever was it? Today? How do they know half? Like, that's unbelievable. But if I sat down, I maybe could get to 10 if I really got after it. Maybe. I might be overzealous too.
All right, Gavin, I'm going to take you back to that second inning in Chicago. All right, I'm going to break down some of the stats. You were the first Cleveland pitcher with 2 pickoffs in an inning since July of 1945. It was the first time Cleveland recorded 3 non-plate appearance outs since 1920, and it was the first time it happened in a major league game since 1985. Take me through that inning. Where were you mentally after the 3 runs scored early, and what were you looking to do?
I was just trying to get out anyway. I thought it was kind of crazy after the inning that happened. I didn't think that would ever happen in my life. That's probably the first time and the only time it might happen.
So your first out was when the pitch got past Bo, and then you got the out at home. How did that come about? How did you know where to be?
I was just going home. Most of the time, the runner always scores. I don't know what he was doing on third. Guess he had a late break or something. When that happens, it's usually an automatic run. But I caught it. I didn't even hear him coming yet, and then I just put my glove to the back of the plate, and he slid into it, thankfully.
Then you got the 2 pickoffs. What led you to be so aggressive on the base runners?
Albie caught it. Just like a glove drop or something to first base, and then a regular pickoff. I know when the runner gets to a certain point on the dirt, I can usually pick them off. I feel like I have a good move. And when they get to that spot, I think I can get them.
When you got out of that inning, what were you feeling? Were you able to process what just went on?
I'm pretty sure I told Bill, I was like, what just happened? Because I honestly didn't know what to think, because that never happens.
Yeah. This team is obviously a few games away from the All-Star break. How much is that needed for this team right now in terms of just kind of getting a few days to regroup and refresh?
I think it's definitely going to be helpful. We struggled a little bit over the past, but can't really look at the past. You got to look at the future and what we can do better every day. But it happens. It's baseball, and you got 162 for a reason.
Obviously, like you said, long season, ebbs and flows. There's been some ebbs and flows in the offense. Do you feel any extra pressure when your starts are coming up, knowing that those ebbs and flows have been coming a little bit more?
No, not really. It's always going to be like that. Nobody's perfect. If we were perfect, we go 162 and 0. But it's just another game. Doesn't really matter.
Where's the mentality of this group right now in terms of wanting to be aggressive, obviously, right? Wanting to get those wins, but also having a calm in terms of knowing what this group is capable of?
Just keep fighting. It's going to happen. You have struggles all the time. Doesn't really matter what it is, but you just got to keep fighting.
On Sunday, you're matched up against Tarek Skubal. Do you get up for those matchups? Is that something that you're paying attention to?
No, not really. I do enjoy watching him pitch. He's very good. I think everybody knows he's good, but just look at it as another game. Doesn't matter who's pitching and who I'm playing against.
One more from me. They're going to announce All-Star reserves on Sunday. Obviously, we know Jose's going, but Stephen Kwan, what can you say about what he means to this team, and maybe make your case for why Kwani should be going to the All-Star game?
He's one of the best outfielders. He's the best leadoff hitter that I've ever seen. He just plays the game the right way, plays hard, knows what to do. If he's not on the All-Star team, then I don't know what else to say. He's one of the best players.
All right, David, All-Star reserves are going to be announced on Sunday. Obviously, Stephen Kwan has made his case. How would you quantify what he means to this team?
Yeah, obviously a big part of our offense in the leadoff spot. I think just kind of one of those guys, as soon as he comes up, we just assume he's going to get a hit. And then obviously what he does on defense is incredible. 3 straight gold gloves, and he makes every play out there look easy.
What is it about his game? What does he do that other players just simply can't?
Yeah, I think it's a lot of the little things. His just instincts on the field, you see the way he plays balls off the wall and left, keeps every guy at first base on those, and just little at-bats off of some of the best pitchers in the world where 99% of the guys are striking out. He's able to just flip a ball into left.
I feel like you kind of just made your case, but if you could sum it up and just make your case for why Stephen Kwan simply needs to be an All-Star this year.
he's best left fielder in the game and best leadoff hitter in the game. Easy as that.